Okay, Greg's up. He says, hi, I have an affiliate website promoting several companies. An important page promoting the top company ranks very well, but that established company is now partnered with a worldwide known brand, which itself has not previously had any of its own products in this niche. Similar example would be if Gary Fisher Mountain Bike Company partnered with Nike and still makes and markets the bikes, but the Nike brand name will be on all the bikes. The company website is still Gary Fisher with the same Gary Fisher models, but the Nike brand name is now on the bikes and the website pages. I need to have both company names on the same page. Web searchers will continue using the original company name for at least several years, but there are now new searches in this niche for the huge brand name. My current page URL slug contains only the name of the original company. Would you create a new page using a slug with both company names and redirect the old page to the new? Just change the H1, H2, and some of the text and add in the second brand name on the current page. Thanks. That's a good question. If you are ranking already with the current page, I don't know that I would want, this is my opinion. I'd like to get Hernan's opinion as well, but I don't know that I would want to mess with the URL, because if you change too much on a page, especially when you're in a competitive market where, in other words, if there's other people competing for those top spots, which most of them are going to be, and you start changing things structurally, you will see some dancing. There's no question. And that includes changing the URL. Adding in some mentions of Nike into the page itself without changing the slug is less likely to cause at least as significant a dancing as changing the slug would. It doesn't mean that it won't dance a little. It probably will. I don't know that for sure, but it probably will. But changing the slug, it's almost guaranteed to dance. I can tell you that. So I would probably, personally, my own opinion would be to probably leave the slug as it was and just add the additional content onto the page. And then I would also look into, and this would actually be a pretty good topic possibly for tomorrow's structured data webinar. I don't know how far we're going to get into Q&A during that webinar. But I would also try to figure out a way to mention both brands within the structured data for that page, in the JSON-LD markup that you put up in the header or whatever, so that, both brands are being mentioned or cited within the structured data, so that it can help to rank for both search queries, if that makes sense. But again, I don't think changing the slug's really the best idea, but that's my own personal opinion. Hernan, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Bradley. In fact, there's been these kind of tests, when you're talking about an article. I'm assuming that Greg has some sort of e-commerce solution. That's why he's saying, he needs to be optimizing the products for both brands. But when you have a blog or when you have, a website, usually articles and topics or interests and maybe keywords surrounding the topic, they change. They go forward, or they change during time because people are getting interested in some other topics, or maybe there's something new there's a new discovering about the topic, et cetera, et cetera. So what people usually do, with good results, is to go back to the article and add content, yes, optimize for the new keywords, so that's exactly what I would do. I wouldn't change if you've got good rankings. I wouldn't change the URL, even if it is with a 301, because you might lose some rankings. Yeah. I would definitely add some more content, maybe not all at once, but see, if you add a couple of paragraphs with the new keywords, I would definitely go and try to re-optimize a little bit the metadata and the JSON-LD or the schemas you were saying, Bradley. But I wouldn't change the URL, because if you change it, it's going to be a completely new page under Google Sites, even if you do a 301. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I would do. I would change and slowly add content, like add a couple of paragraphs and wait for, maybe 15 days, a couple of weeks, then go back and add a little bit more. But that's what I would do.
Very good. Yeah, guys, structural changes will often cause significant dancing. Content changes will often not, or will reduce or minimize the dancing. Doesn't mean you won't see it, but it's usually often a lot less significant or volatile, if that makes sense. So.